This is a very brief look at the Piggyback remote for the Amazon Fire TV. This is made by Mission Cables. This is actually my second one, because the first one I got was for the stick remote, which you can see here. This is just the basic Fire TV stick remote, and you can see on the back, here's the actual remote. The standard battery cover just pops off, and this goes in its place. And it uses a very small battery, same one like your motherboard uses on your PC. It's a little inconvenient. It'd have been nice, you know, because they're not rechargeable. They're standard, but they're not as commonplace around the house as, you know, a AAA or something. But the advantage to it is its size. So it keeps this thing very small, and it's easy to replace. Pop it out, pop a new one in. You can get the batteries pretty much anywhere. It works really well. I actually like this. I had brought this first for my stick remote, and I will say the stick remote, it doesn't hold as snugly. I'm to blame. I broke off a small piece right here that kept it in place. So now I have to use a piece of tape to keep it held on, because see, it just falls right off. It works well though. You can see it's got the, actually, you know what, let's bring in the, now here's, in comparison's sake, here is the voice remote for the Fire box, or if you bought a separate voice remote. This is the newer model. I don't think they had offered this when I got my stick remote, but in this one, same exact idea. The whole back is normally your battery cover on this remote. So you pop off your regular battery cover, this replaces it. Same idea. All same battery. They last a while. They're like a lithium battery, and they last a decent amount of time. You can see on the remote here we've got 6 buttons: volume up, volume down in the center, mute, power, input, and this is the learning button. It doesn't come with a whole lot. You can see here's the box for it. It comes with a small instruction manual here that tells you how to program it. Basically, it's a learning remote. So everything is learned from an existing remote. You take your television remote, you hold the instructions tell you hold this in for 6 seconds, the light becomes solid. Then you take your regular TV remote. I'll just use this as an example, even though you'd want your, you know, Sony remote, Vizio remote, and you just point it right at it like this. So you hold this down for 6 seconds, becomes a solid light. Then you push once on the button you want to program, like say power. Then you take your TV remote, hold down the power button, and then it flashes and learns it. So you go through this same sequence, program in all buttons, and then you don't need your TV remote anymore, for the most part, for the basic functions. And this one fits a lot snugger because it's got a lot more. You can see all the little spots around the edge of the remote on all sides, and it really grips in there nicely. It really kind of like snug fit, so it doesn't come off. It's on there nicely, and you can see there's the little IR blaster for the remote. So when you're holding it in your hand like this, you might kind of block the thing with your finger, but you know, when you're actually reaching down underneath, you know, typically you're going to be using your fingers, so it doesn't cover this up when you're pushing buttons anyway. And the range is good, the battery life's good, it functions exactly like you would expect, and then you don't have to have your separate TV remote to control these. And since it's a learning remote, it pretty much works with everything. I've got a few Vizio TVs, and it's worked. Both of them have worked perfectly with scanning in, saving the codes. All the functions of it have worked. Although, I guess technically, you know, this is an input button, so you can change the inputs, but I don't see any reason why. I haven't tried it, but you should be able to make this anything you want. You know, you could make this button anything. A specific number, or maybe like last channel. You know, if there's some other functionality you'd rather have other than changing the input, you can definitely do that. At least I'm pretty confident you can do that. But for the price, I think these are like 15 bucks. I found it well worth it. Now I know Amazon is coming out with their own television, Amazon TV, and they're going to have a volume button on that, although I doubt it's reprogrammable since it's a remote for their television itself. But I'll be looking forward to seeing the Amazon television as well. But I just wanted to show this off real quick in case someone needed a quick look at it. Works well for the money.